Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Duncan, and this is Pillars of Eternity. This is, for people who don't know, this is a game that is, I guess kind of like a Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale or one of those kind of older isometric computer RPGs that they used to make, but it was obviously made this year. I haven't actually seen anything about this game. I haven't heard anything about this game, really. This is going to be a completely blind Let's Play. I found out about this game from a show on Twitch called Critical Role, which is a bunch of voice actors who play D&D, and a couple guys in there, Matt Mercer and Orion Akaba, voice characters in this game. I think those are the two. Anyway, and they were mentioning something about it in one of the episodes, and I thought, this sounds like a fucking fun game. So we're going to try it out. I have looked through this options menu a little bit to see what's going on, and turned off or on or etc. a couple of things. I turned off these so that we don't know if we're missing a certain amount of X or a certain skill to say things in conversations. Other than that, I really haven't messed with this too much because I don't know anything about what is going on. So we're gonna figure this out as we go, basically. This, like I said, will be completely blind. We're also going to be role-playing the character that we're going to be, which we'll figure out in just a minute as soon as it lets me get to the character creation screen. I think there's like a cutscene before that or something. But yeah, so let's get going. Oh, let's see. I think for the purposes of getting through this without dying too much, we're going to go with normal difficulty. I don't know what these two bottom things are. Let's see. Disables a number of helper features in the game. Players who want to rely on... Oh. Ooh, I'm actually going to turn this on for now. Let's see if we like that. What does this one do? Oh, no, perma death. We're not going to roll with that for right now. I'm tempted to put it on hard just because it tends to be more fun that way, I guess. But that's coming from games like Baldur's Gate, etc., where I've played the games for years and I know what's going on and all that. For this is a brand new thing, so I think we're going to stick with normal for a while. This is apparently, from what I understand, not based on D&D rules either. This is based on Obsidian's own rule set, which means there's just even more for us to figure out. So we'll go with normal, we'll go with expert mode so that it doesn't hold my hand the entire way. This means we're probably going to miss stuff, guys. Don't freak out in the comments if I've gone past something incredibly awesome or whatever, if I've made a bad decision according to you. This is, again, going to be role-played, and we're going to be playing pretty noob-esquely in this game, so let's do it. It's a cool cave. Reminds me of the first cave in Skyrim, that first dungeon you go to. What's it called? Bleak Falls? Yeah.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the character we're going to be playing is going to be male. I always do male the first time I play through a game just to kind of see what the game would be like if I were the character, so to speak. Let's see. Place of men in society varies from culture to culture. Cultures like Adir and the drywood, the deerwood. Whoa. Whoa. Oh man, I like these already. Kudos to Obsidian for putting these things in here. Okay, so we'll read about that a little bit later. Anyway, men prefer, so men and women essentially can be equally good adventurers, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go with male for now. Okay, race, let's see. Humans, commonly called the folk, are the most common race in the Deerwood and the Adir Empire, Old Valia, and the Valian Republics. Okay, that's a lot of shit that we're going to need to learn about. Though not as large as the towering Amawa, humans are known for their strength and willpower. Oh, and racial bonuses, right? We're not going to pay too much attention to that. Oh, there's Amawa right there. Whoa, okay. Welcome to the world of Avatar, apparently. They are quite big. Might +2, yeah. In or near oceans, yeah. Truly aquatic. They have an affinity for water. Civilizations, rather. Okay, yeah, cool. Dwarf. That's a bit different than your typical dwarf that you would picture. No beard, for one. Varric-esque dwarf. Oops. What the hell? Okay. Elf. Dexterity and perception. Common in Air Glanfath and the White That Wends. Extremely common in the Deerwood and Adir. Known for their speed and intelligence, yes, as well as a commonly isolationist nature. Okay. Tolkien-esque elves here. Goat folk, apparently. Is that kind of what? I guess they're kind of like goat. Smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all, okay? Notable for their large ears, two-tone skin, and hirsute bodies, Orlands are commonly found in Erglanfath, the Ichamatal Plains, and parts of the Deerwood. They're known for their mental intensity and quickness. Might -1. Ooh, we get a negative on that guy. That's a godlike. What the hell? Oh, that's awesome. Godlike are children of the Kith, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, although some of them do not consider it a blessing, yeah, I could imagine. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is nearly impossible to find anything that fits. Ooh, that's actually really interesting. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. Yeah, for sure, I bet. This guy looks fucking cool. We might go with him. We might go him or elf. We're playing a ranger, by the way. We're going to be, I always go with ranger. It's just a thing with me. I like the ranged combat. I like the fantasy-styled Legolas sort of thing that goes on with a ranger kind of class. I think we're going to roll with a godlike, though. Oh. Sub-race, okay. Oh, fuck yeah. Nature. Oh, nature might make the most sense, given our ranger preclusion. Oh, they each get different bonuses, too. Grants a bonus to might, constitution, and dex when endurance is below 50%. What is endurance? Is that like stamina? Endurance represents a character's short-term survivability. Oh. Damage that is not absorbed by a character's damage reduction, which is a thing we'll probably have to learn about. Straight to their endurance and health. Potions and healing magic can... Oh. Character's endurance reaches... Oh. So endurance, I guess, is like my combat health. Endurance at the end of Yeah, okay, yeah. So health is probably a big, big number in this game, then, I'm guessing. And we get a small number for endurance that if it reaches 0... we drop, we can't fight anymore, and then once the battle's over, we get back up, but we're still missing our health from the sound of it. That's cool. So I get bonuses to might, con, and dex when endurance is built. So when I'm injured, essentially, I get bonuses to this. What do these guys get? Every encounter, when reduced below 75%, 50%, 25% endurance, moon godlike generate waves of healing moonlight that restores endurance to them and their allies. Oh, okay. Kind of a cleric sort of race. When reduced below 50% endurance, fire godlike glow like metal in a forge, gaining damage reduction and doing a small amount of fire damage to any creature who hits them in melee. Ooh, that sounds cool. And the death godlike. Yeah, this is what we initially saw. This guy looks fucking scary. When death godlike attack an enemy with 25% or less endurance, their damage is increased. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Well, might go with one of these actually. Nature would make sense for a ranger too. I'm not digging the appearance of the nature guys though. I think I'm gonna go with a fire body type. Oh, so we can be big, or we can be a little dwarf, or an Orlan, a goat person. Let's go with an elf body type, fit our ranger kind of persona. Class, right? Let's see. There's our ranger. Ooh, what are these? Ooh, that's cool. 2 new classes. Is this like a bard? Yeah, kind of like a bard, I guess. Sounds maybe more like a holy bard of some kind. Anyway, I'll look into more of those later. We're gonna go ranger for now. Oh, let's see what skill we want here. 2 per encounter. Okay, so we get per encounter abilities rather than using like a energy system or a mana system or something like that. As he or she would fleeing prey, the hunter aims for a spot that will slow the target enemy's progress, hobbling the target, inflicting raw damage over time to it. Nice. What does hobbling mean? Dexterity. Oh, okay. So this kind of... If someone's like fleeing from me or approaching towards me, I can hit them with this and they'll kind of move a little slower. Or damage, oh, so hunters mark apparently. Marked for 30 seconds, yeah. Ooh, and animal companion. Ooh, so we do get to pick a companion, that's cool. I think we're gonna go with marked prey. Here we go. Let's see, all rangers form a strong spiritual connection with a single creature, their animal companion. This connection allows rangers and their companions to coordinate attacks and efficiently take down prey. In most situations, the companions run interference while the ranger attacks at range. Yes, very cool. Despite these advantages, there are risks to the relationship. Rangers share a literal life bond with their animal companions. When one is wounded, the other can sense it and feel intense emotional pain. If a ranger or animal companion are knocked unconscious, the partner suffers from bonded grief, affecting accuracy and other stats until the downed ally is revived. If a ranger has ever killed the animal companion, immediately dies from grief. That is a rough life for animals. We're gonna go, let's see, antelope, superior defenses. Oh, okay, so it looks like we get kind of like 3rd edition D&D saves, essentially, in this game. Reflex, fortitude, will, that kind of a thing. Is that 3rd edition? Oh, shit, I can never remember. Anyway, so antelopes have really good defenses. Bears have... Oh, okay, so what is damage reduction now? Usually derived from armor, but many... Oh, okay. Subtracted directly from... Okay, so it's like armor class in the sense of... like Dragon Age, from the sounds of it. Our physical armor amount subtracts that much damage from any hit that we receive. That's cool. Okay, so bears have really high damage reduction. That's good. They can take a lot of hits, assuming the enemy isn't using piercing weapons. Boar companions inflict more damage when they are below 50% endurance. Oh, so when they start getting hurt, they do more damage as well. Lion, that's cool. Lions have the ability to terrify enemies with a powerful roar. Very cool. Probably freezing them or sending them running or something. Activate a melee attack that does damage to all enemies in a small area around the main target. Okay, AoE, kind of draw threat from enemies, assuming this game has a threat system. Wolf companions do high damage. Okay, so high base damage and more easily avoid. Oh, attacks of opportunity are a thing in this game too. Okay. They can avoid disengagement attacks. I want to pick a ghost, or a wolf rather, and name him Ghost, because I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones recently. But that seems kind of cliche. I guess, for lack of a better word. I might go lion. That sounds kind of cool. Sounds befitting of my flamed nature. Oh, name him. Let's see. Let's name him Vashta the Lion. For no other reason than that is just the first thing that popped into my head. Let's see how stats work. Might, I'm guessing, is like our strength, which we may not need a ton of if we're going ranged damage. Dex we're probably going to want. Ooh, although it looks like maybe Dex doesn't affect range damage in this game, so it looks like we'll probably have to take Might and Dex fairly equally to keep our speed and reflex saves and our damage up. Let's do this. Let's put 14 to both of those. I'm not going to put anything in con. I ranged characters, I kind of always foresee them as taking the ranged option because they are fairly weak in combat. Let's see. Perception, it sounds like, is a thing we're going to want. Accuracy, reflex saves, and interrupt. Oh, that's cool. Where's it? There's no red thing on interrupt. I can't get a hint for how that system works, so we're just going to have to figure that out, I guess. Let's take perception up to 14 too. Intellect, I get a bonus for being a godlike, which is good. That's duration of stuff, and will saves. I'm probably going to put one in there. I see him as being kind of a slightly more street smart, I guess, than your average person. Resolve, is this like leadership and commitment? Yeah, this is my charisma essentially, with it looks like a couple of other kind of bonuses. Concentration, this gives me deflection. Yeah, that makes sense. Will, a little bit of will. I'm not gonna put much in here. Maybe a point. And then I may take might and dex up to 15 each. 3 concentration. Is this like... Yeah, cool. We'll roll with that. Oh man. I'm already loving this character creator. It's letting me go really in depth with this kind of thing, which is cool. Let's see, our culture. The Ader Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. Centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the Empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world, Greater Ader is at its heart. The majority of its human and elven nations. Cool. Oh, and we get a plus... Oh, so that would take our resolve up to 12. That's cool. Resolve, yeah, they're the biggest force in the world. That makes sense that they would have a good resolve. Oh. This changes my starting equipment too, which is really cool. You get a really big bow and like a padded gambeson thing for this kind of start. Consisting of the nation of Nasitak, dozens of Amawa settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands. That's cool. Stretch along the southern sea, Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Amawa, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. Huh? And they get decks, kind of a pirate lifestyle out there. Yeah, that makes sense. Here's that word again. I want to say that this is not pronounced Ixamitl. I've seen these letters before, and I want to say it's probably pronounced like Ichamitl, maybe something like that, or Ishamitl. Anyway, located to the northeast of Airglanfath, the Ishamitl Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas extensively farmed by human and Orlan residents. The Ishamitl culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. And they get resolved for that as well. Yeah, that's cool. Old Valia. Ooh, we get a crossbow for this start. And some chain, which doesn't seem quite right. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Valia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, the Old Valian countries are still forces to be reckoned with and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Yeah, and intellect, that's also cool. Rautai. Dominated by the Amawa nation of Rautai, the Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Amawa, Orlan, or Dwarven. These countries are relatively young. They are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the east. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. developing a constitution bonus as a result of that, I imagine. Living Lands. This sounds like something we could probably go with. Living Lands is the mountainous region of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. And a might bonus. That would take us up to 16 might. That's pretty cool. The White That Wends. A large, cracked southern expanse of polar ice, the White That Wends is home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. And, yeah, perception. You gotta pay the fuck attention out there. I'm not crazy about this get-up that we've got going on here, however. Although I kind of like the idea of that culture. I think, though, we're going to probably go with this. I don't know how well he would fit in these kind of colonial settlements. So we may go more like this. Lawless pirate, and yeah. Yeah, this is what we're going to go with. Background. This is so cool. Oh, let's see. You've lived your life amongst the nobility, or that's probably not him. Oh, although, what are these bonuses? Lore represents a character's accumulated miscellaneous knowledge and trivia, often of occult or esoteric topics. Lore is used to activate scrolls. Okay. Higher level scrolls. Yeah, cool. I don't think we're the aristocratic type. Explorer. Lies beyond or the feeling of finding out. Yeah, lore and survival, which is the longer the duration of food and potion items. Okay, cool. Labor, that's probably not us, although I want to see what these do. Fallen stat. Okay, so we get a... Okay, so it looks like we get a fatigue rating in this game based on maybe how long we're up and adventuring and wandering around, etc. Maybe travel time, that kind of thing. I'm assuming that means that there's like a sleep system in this game, probably. Then you kind of have to take rests or something like that, which means we probably will get some daily abilities as well. Traps and lock. Oh yeah, lockpicking. Yeah, that might be useful for us, but I don't think we're much of a laborer type. Merchant, probably not. Slave, that'd be interesting. They kind of saw who he was, how sort of his appearance, and feared him, so they enslaved him. Never known freedom, shackles and chains have bound your existence, and someone has told you what to do your entire life. Athletics and survival. Maybe. Drifter might be us too. Never quite fit in no matter. Yeah. Each town is just a place to rest before moving on. Yes, that's kind of fits perfectly with both Ranger and kind of his godlike, uncomfortable around society kind of feel that it was sounding like they have. Yeah, and stealth too, that sounds good. Hunter. Taking the lives of wild creatures. That'd be kind of cool too. Mercenary, Raider. Maybe. This actually might make sense too. This race is bringing comparisons in my mind to tieflings from Dungeons and Dragons, and they kind of tend to fall into the wrong side of the law occasionally, you know? And that might actually be something that he would have seen as his only option in life, you know? He's kind of not welcomed among the high society folk of cities, etc., so he probably felt maybe he had to turn to banditry as a result. What was that? Stealth and athletics. I think we're going to go with Raider. Oh, cool. Let's see. Primary color. Well, I mean, this orange is perfect for our fiery kind of persona. Secondary. I want to go with something... Ooh, no, probably not that blue. Maybe like a dark red. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, another thing I should mention. I just saw this number down here. when I thought about doing an LP for this, I messaged one of my buddies and was like, hey, a lot of people have been talking about this game. Is it any good? Is it possible to do a role play, kind of play through this? Am I going to be stuck into certain dialogue choices, blah, blah, blah? He was like, no, everything's going to be awesome. You can really kind of play your character the way you want. The one thing he warned me about, he said, just so you know, the default portraits for your characters are absolutely god-awful. So you're going to want to download this mod. And he sent me to the Nexus website where I found, I believe it was just called like Super Picture Pack or something like that, which is why there's 615 portraits here. But seeing as we are one of these godlike fellows, I don't know how well we're going to find something to fit that sort of appearance. And actually we may just go with one of the stock godlike. He looks a little too happy. No, we're not a moon guy. We're not a nature guy. It looks like there's only 2 options for fire. That is ridiculous. Let's put it on him, I guess. Oh, and we can change our head shape, too. Oh. I see, that's him then, yeah. It looks almost like he has a helmet on made of fire, which is so fucking cool. I don't like this portrait, though. I think we're going to go with head number 2. It looks pretty badass. Voice. Oh, okay, let's see.
Yeah? Watch and learn. Yeah!
I don't think so.
Keeping an eye out. What is it? Now I am the leader of the group.
That kind of fits his appearance a little bit.
Ah!
Quietly now. I'm here.
That was two very different sounding voices within one click. I don't think we're benevolent.
Follow me.
Let's go. Keeping quiet.
Actually, this might be the one we go with. This kind of stoic fella.
I've got this.
Oh, no.
You better run! Quick and quiet. Ready when you are.
Actually, we may go cocky
I'll
too.
lead the way.
I kind of see him as a, like a, I never miss kind of a ranger, you know? He's very overconfident in his abilities. Maybe not overconfident, we'll have to find out. But he may go cocky.
Yeah. Let's keep quiet.
Leading the way.
Nah, he's not really a noble.
Yeah. Sharp eyes and keen ears.
No, that's a little too.
I'll lead the way.
I think we're going to go with the cocky voice. Oh, what's our name? That's a good question. Our name should be something relating to fire. Let's call us... And now let's go with something like... Let's go with Asher. Cool, let's go. Oh, these graphics are already incredible. I'm loving the atmosphere of this. What are these big green things? Oh. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and his sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it?
Oh.
Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
I wasn't expecting it to be voiced, even after I knew that the guys from Critical Role voiced characters in this. I was picturing old school Baldur's Gate stuff. He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks.
Yeah, I'll try.
Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be.
Ooh.
There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
Those are two very different outcomes, my friend. Let's find some water.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
That would be nice, thank you.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker.
Oh, what?
But see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
So this is just going to be skipped over dialogue, essentially. That's going to get obnoxious. Odima looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfle, who carries an old, sun-bleached bow. Ah, you and I would get along, friend. Sparfle nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Right, so they're going to go find us water. What about those ruins up there that you mentioned?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
I'll be the effigy. That's a good phrase.
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
He adds with a wink, yes. So we're going inside there, I guess, is what you're telling me. Who did build them then?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Fair enough. Alright, so where would I find these berries you talked about?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Is it dangerous out there?
Not if you hurry about your business,
Thanks.
and not if the weather holds up.
The weather, huh? What kind of weather do they get?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind.
Scary.
But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
Interesting. And what are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground? Is that... Would I know what those are? We're going to assume that my character does not know what they are, so that I can figure out what they are.
They don't got Audra where you come from?
Audra.
Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
Interesting.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock.
Yeah, it looks
Easier to work if you're a mason.
kind of
Got all
hollow.
kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Interesting.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things.
The what?
I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Soul butchers. That sounds like not a thing that we want to run into. I'll see if I can get those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot.
Ugh.
Not like most of this lot.
Right.
But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
Yes, I have someone with me, thanks. He's a big lion named Vashta. I think he'll probably keep me plenty safe. Oh, he scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Yeah, for real.
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Somehow I doubt that, Odima.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in
Hayden.
harsh country.
Okay.
Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Okay, so we are going inside there, apparently.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Yeah, let's.
Ready when you are.
Okay, so we get our Baldur's Gate selection kind of style thing and our character portraits. This game...
Not a problem.
This game looks fun already. Oh, let's see. Oh, did we pick mechanics on our... Let's see if we can open this. Lock. No, I want...
Just say
you
the
to
word.
open
Let's
it.
see what's in here.
Oh, no, apparently I can't.
Let's see what's in here.
Oh, there's another one. Why is she going to get everything? Oh, I can... Oh, wait, what is this? Stash. Oh, so if we run out of inventory space, we have like a chest that we can stick stuff in, huh? Right, well, give me this. Give me the lockpicks, I guess. I don't know what we're going to do with those, but
Not
we'll
a
find
problem.
out. Man. Let's see what
Anyone need supplies?
Oh.
I've got sundries for sale.
Oh, I like that you can press tab and see stuff. Let's open this. Potion of minor regeneration. Is that like health? Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a healing potion. Cool. And this is money? Yes, copper panned. Sure. Take all. Yeah, cool. Is this Heoden guy? Yeah. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Ah, right. So you must be Heoden then? Is that who you are?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
Interesting. All right, let's decide how Asher is going to respond to this kind of stuff. He comes from a raider background, so let's probably go with this one. How incredibly naive. I'm surprised you've lasted this long. He folds his arms and surveys the wagon, and I suppose I should be counting my blessings. Yes, you should, friend.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Let's see. Why did you move all the way out here then, man?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raid Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Raid Ceres, he said. That is not how I would have pronounced that word. That's good to know. Deerwood is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Raid Saren's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. Seems like you got the short end of the stick, man. I don't see it that way. He begins restacking the crates in his wagon. My brothers and I are all working together for the sake of the family enterprise. Yeah. Let's see what you got. What do I have? That's a good question. Let's not look at what you have until I look at what I have. I've got Warbow. Speed average, 12 meter range, 15 to 23 piercing. Cool, yeah. Am I wearing... Oh, I'm wearing, yes, padded armor. DR is damage reduction, right? Yes. So a DR of 4. What are these? Oh, is this like an average then of these 4 stats? You get 5 crush, 5 pierce, 3 burn, and 3 corrode. Yeah, cool. Recovery speed minus 20% in this armor. Why is that? Longer actions result in proportionally long recovery. Generally heavy armor inflicts... Oh, okay. So the more armor I have on, the bigger this number is going to get. Is this a pretty low number then? Or is this kind of high? It's not very good damage reduction from what... Just guessing. Oh no, I don't want to enchant it. Let's get out of there. Let's take a look at this too. 15 to 23 piercing damage, yeah. Base 13 to 20. What does that mean? Does that mean because of my skill I do more damage? Versus deflection, yeah, so they have to make a deflection save. What does she got? What is she? She's wearing scale. DR 7, yeah, okay, so our armor's pretty light in the grand scheme of things. And she's got an axe and a torch. That's actually probably going to be helpful. This stuff that we found looks pretty useless. 0 damage reduction. We'd be fasted, I guess, so if we're not planning on taking a lot of hits, it might be nice to have. I'll hang on to it for a minute. Do we have any money?
Something else you need?
We have... Oh, 110 gold, so we could buy like 1 weapon. What are these smaller bows that I could have started out with? Oh, compare. Oh, that's. Oh, no, not to her. What? Let's see. 11 to 16 pierce. I think I was like 15 to 23, so that's. Oh, but it's fast. That must be the difference. It must be like a short bow versus a long bow. Do I need arrows, or do I just kind of have arrows? Oh, here's a bunch of different kinds of armor, too. 5 and 25, yeah. Or 4 and 20, I think. 420. 6 and 30. Okay, so it looks like padded might be the lightest armor that we can get. And then 50, yeah, that is going to be for our tanks, I'm guessing. Shields, swords, rod, what's that? Range 10 meters. Oh, this is like a wizard's weapon. Well, I'm not going to buy anything for now. We are going to set out as soon as we return for part 2. Thanks for hanging around, guys, and we will explore and find these berries that Odima asked us for the next time we come back.